What's up? Stephen Johnson, trading with Timothy Sykes. I am in my second month now. I'm profitable more than $150 this month with 2 months of training. Priorly had zero experience. Let me take you through the best trades for this month and the worst, including the biggest loss that I've ever had. So enjoy. I just really rushing through to save time. I want to show you this 2-year plan. I think it's really good motivation. So in June, I wanted to set up and get trading. I did that. I did not know anything about the stock market before that. Just started learning. July, I just wanted to lose less than $300 and be profitable in 15% of trades. And that was the target for this month, lose less than 300. And I actually beat that target. And I actually also beat August's target of break even and be profitable in more than 35% trades. And incentivization is good. I actually made $159 and was profitable in 37% of trades. So I'm now moving straight on to September. Target being be profitable in 40% of trades and achieve an account size of more than $2,500 because I'm currently on $1,500. So I can, maybe I'll try and hopefully win 200-300 and I'll try and put in the other $700 just to top up the account. But I achieved this target, so I will be ordering a nice bottle of whiskey because I achieved August target 1 month early. And for September, it's a desk. For October, it's 2 new monitors for trading. November, it's a very expensive cool All Saints shirt. December's Christmas. For January, I want to buy a really nice canvas. February, laptop, more whiskey, canvas. May, if I get up my account up to past 11,500, it's a trip to California. July, really nice watch, account of 15,000, and it goes on down, 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 to eventually, if I get my account up to 50k, I'm going to be riding around in a California Ferrari, and so goals are important. But right back to because I don't know how else to achieve. But back to the start, profit and loss. I had my June, I was the most important things really. I made a few less trades, 8 trades instead of 12. My winning ratio went up from 16.67% to 37.5%, and I managed to grow my account by 10%, which was pretty cool. And I also had my biggest loss this month, BIND, just the other day, $182. I'll tell you a little bit more about that. But for now, let's go straight into the trading. If we look at the day chart, we can see it was trending up all day. If we look back, these are some markers I kind of put in. If we look back at like say maybe 10 days ago, it's got no life. Like 6 months ago, it's got this spike, but really everything for OPTT happened in the last kind of 10 days. So what was interesting for me was it had this initial spike, which made it kind of playable, and it encouraged people to watch the trade. I mean, it brought attention to the stock, which is cool. And then it really fell. And what interested me was I saw a similar player. I can't remember the name. I think it was JSS or something. But I could see. Let's go to the daily chart now. But the most important thing is this kind of 10 level. It hit 10. And then yesterday it kind of topped out at 10 again. And then today it just fell, went red like by nearly 50%, which is awesome. Because it might not have gone red, but it obviously dropped either on the close of last night or I didn't check the open, I forgot. But anyway, it was at $6 doing nothing. 11 o'clock, somehow it started kind of uptrending very, very solidly. Kind of uptrending, consolidated, uptrend, consolidated, and it's uptrended, consolidated, and then around this area, I was like, its previous high was 10. It's clearly uptrending towards 10. There's 3 hours left in the market. It's going in that direction. I thought, what's my risk reward here? I got in at 780, and I thought, there's no major spikes. There's no reason to worry. There's only positive confidence here. If it drops, I'll get out for 10 or 20 cents. But if it does what I think it does and it pushes towards 10, which it looks like it's going to push to, its previous high, remember, then I'm up like $2 a share. So for $1,000, that's a $200 profit. And so I basically followed it up, watched it for a few hours. from, again, just this is a different perspective, from the 780, came up, came up, came up, and then in the last 2 hours, this red this red panic, like this is, you can see it's, I should have got out at 960. I was gonna like watch to see if it would break 10. This was the initial kind of panic. It was like, look, whoa, when you're at 10 again, get out, get out, get out, get out. It's not gonna break 10. So people were expecting a triple top, and then it kind of built back. And when it built back, I was like, do you know what it is? It's not kind of building back as strongly as I would like. I was like, just get out, because if that dips happened once, it can it's gonna give unrest to kind of investors. I was like, just get out, take the little bounce back and get out. So I was out for 916, which you can see. And yeah, I mean, I got out a little bit earlier. I kind of retested its highs, got back to 960. I could have made more profit, 200 plus, but I just didn't want to risk it. I was like, look, you're up like kind of 13, 14%. No, it's actually up 17%. I was like, you're up 17%. You don't need any more. So it retested its highs. But if you look at the chart now, volume's a little bit lower. It's making kind of, this is its peak. This is like a kind of a lower high, and then kind of based a bit of a kind of a peak. Then it had another 960, but now it's kind of dropping again. It's back where the consolidation is. I mean, but I just don't like the look of it. I mean, like it tanked here from 960 down to 920. So it can quite easily break on, and it can quite easily break on. If it doesn't bounce now, it's just gonna, it could break its consolidation, this line all the way across, and it's gonna crack back down to 8, and then it might go to 7, then it might go to 6. I mean, you have no idea what's gonna happen with this thing. It's kind of overextended. Very small float, but yeah, I mean, it's been kind of moving upwards, moving upwards, moving upwards. And then I kind of, on the daily chart, I bought in at, let's have a look, sorry, I'm kind of tired. It's pretty late. Bought in at 1041. I can just mark this with some lines actually. So I saw that it was kind of uptrending. Here, it was kind of grinding up, and I bought it at like kind of 1041. It's around this area. I was like, oh, this is it's obviously it's got two tops. It's kind of higher day top. Here, but then it had a kind of this kind of second high, and I was just like, my thinking was, I mean, I was like, towards 4 o'clock. I mean, it's not any money to lose, but I just thought, if this can kind of grind, as it has been here, if it can continue to grind, yeah, I mean, it's got a strong close. Maybe I can hold it overnight, and it's going to spike tomorrow. Or I can sell for like a kind of a 15% profit. It was just a small $500 speculative buy just to see what would happen. I put the money in to stay interested. Yeah, and then it kind of fell off track, so I sold it again for 1041. Didn't make anything, didn't lose anything. Just the commission, which is like $14. Uh-oh. Yeah, if you look at the last few days, it went from 2 to 6, kind of tripled, and then pre-market ramped up. It looked like it was game for another spike. So it's kind of funny. It's tanking now. Thank God I'm out. So yeah, I mean, if you look at the first 60 minutes of the morning, it really spiked up pre-market because it closed at what was its close? Let us find. Yeah, closed at 7:30. It opened at 11, so really it was up like 50% on the day already, which is insane. And then I got in at let's have a look. What was it? 11.7. So I was in very, very early. Watched it go to 13, and then it was kind of finding trouble in this area here. And I was like, maybe it's just consolidating. I was like, maybe it's not. Maybe there's so many sellers from yesterday. It's just not going to rise again because everybody's cashing in. So I was like, do you know what it is? I'll take 2/3 off. So I took 2/3 off in 13, and then yeah, and then it went down to about in the 12 area, and I was just like, oh god, just get out. So yeah, let's quickly get this over with, as this is my biggest loss to date. Just closing the month, yeah, with a $182 loss for BIND, and I can take you straight to it. So basically, this has no news. If we look back on a kind of a 6 month chart, I don't even think I'll look this far back. Yeah, I mean, if you look back on the chart, it's just crashed and then crashed, big gap down, and then kind of on the say in the last 10 days we've had nothing. Then nothing. No, it kind of gapped up and then really ripped, spiked up on the 27th, and then gapped up, spiked, and then on the 28th it was kind of, sorry, on the 27th, this is when I was playing it, so it had a bit of a spike, yeah. I mean, in truth, it was on a good run, and then it kind of just lost its footing on the 27th, yeah, when I bought it, and I mean, not too good a run. I mean, it was maybe green 2-3 days. Let's actually have a look. It's interesting. So if we just look back at the last 5 days on the daily chart, yeah, I mean, kind of went red on the day. Didn't do much the day after. I mean, that's today. So yeah, I mean, it didn't really do that well. It gapped up. I should have known. Like, it's kind of looks like it's if I'm reading this right, it's opened fairly high, spiked a little bit, and then dropped all day, and then next day it's kind of gapped up, opened high, it's ran up a little bit, then it's just faded all day, and then yeah, it's kind of, this is one day where it's really had a good run, on the 26th, yeah, and then again on the 27th it kind of ran again. Went up and then it's just faded all day, and I don't know what I'm doing because it's gapping up and fading day after day after day. So why I would think about, and it just did the same thing on the 27th. I mean, I should have followed the pattern, but it gapped up. I mean, it spiked and then fade, fade. And what got me interested, it's actually in this area here, because I thought, all right, maybe I've caught the drop here, and maybe it's starting to grind. I mean, for me, I was like, I was buying it because I could see higher low, higher low, higher low, and I was buying it in this area, and I actually got in. I was rushing to get in because I was like, right, it's drop. Now it's starting to make higher lows, it's starting to grind, and I was in for kind of, I can't remember the exact number. I think I was in for 1.5, 1.6. I was chasing to get in. It's chasing to get in around here. Or here, and then really I was in for kind of $1,000. Really should have got out here. I was actually had a sell order in for like 1.14, 1.15, and if so, I would have got out for about $100 profit. And then it just dropped. I thought, well, do you know what it is? I mean, it's grinding. Like, even if you follow this chart, even if it does kind of, it's had a push, it's natural, it's going to come back, but maybe it's gonna drop a little bit, then it's gonna continue grinding up, because that's kind of the pattern from 11 o'clock till 2 o'clock. But it didn't, and it started to grind down. And when you start thinking about it, this is when I started getting desperate. But I was thinking, and look at this. So this is a deadly dropping ball. It's like lower high. And I was just like, what am I? And I thought, you know what it is? It'll come back off this bounce, but then it didn't. And then when it was right around here in this 94 cents area, I mean, it was too late. I was like, I tried to put another 500 in to get the bounce. I thought I was going to buy the dip, and just kept on making lower highs. And then by that time I was like, when am I going to get out? And eventually I just stopped out at like 97, 98. I was like, this is just too painful. Maybe even 96. And yeah, I got out at 96 at around 2 o'clock and went to bed. And just as well, because after it just tanked. It just really tanked before finding support in this 80s area. And honestly, if I'd have stayed in another 30 minutes, I would have lost, I mean, another 15 cents a share, which is like, on $1,500, I mean, what, that's like, I would have lost another $200 pretty much. That's absolutely it. So yeah, there's a couple of lessons. Cut losses quickly. If you're in doubt, get out. Always have a backup plan. Never, ever, ever trade without knowing that you're going to get out. You saw what just happened to me with the BIND. Like, get out the minute it is making those lower high, those bouncing balls. And guys, follow me on Twitter, JONK87, Snapchat, JONK1987. And yeah, and also there's going to be a new website that I'm bringing out shortly. It's called StephenJohnsonStocks.com. I'll make a link to that in the next description in a few weeks' time when it's built. Peace out. Let's go for a successful second month trading. Really excited about it. Really excited for a second green month after one green month. And it's possible if you just follow the rules. Good luck if you're trading. Any questions you want to ask, ask. See you guys soon.